Good morning, everybody, and go Cubs. Tough way to start the season. Lose to the Dodgers in Japan today. We're going to talk about the game, kind of where things sit with the loss. One game of 162, but it would have been fun to win. It always is on opening day. But some of the same issues that we've seen this Cubs team deal with over the last, I don't know how many years, lack of offense, defense inconsistent, and missed opportunities, and they lose to the Dodgers. All right, let's get it going. Like, subscribe, thumbs up. Thanks for being here after the Cubs and the Dodgers wrap up. Go Cubs. All right, what do you say, guys? Thanks for hanging out. Get in the comments section. I see some of you guys are doing that already. So you're my co-host today for the first live post-game show of the season. I'm Mick Gillespie. Like, subscribe, thumbs up. Thank you for being here as we have one game in the books. And we got off to such a good start. How many of you woke up at 5 a.m. to watch this baseball game? I did. I'm traveling to Vegas tomorrow, so it was like a dress rehearsal to get on the plane. And anyway, but good to see all you guys. Thank you, Mr. Cub. Everyone's fine here. Mark sums it up. We sucked again. Okay, a couple things, like right off the bat. I'm just going to give you my initial thoughts. And I ask you guys to like and subscribe so that we build this algorithm up. I mean, if I'm up at 7:55 here talking, and you guys are hanging out, we need to bring more people in. It just felt like a typical Cubs game. Offense, they face good pitching. They don't have enough competitive at bats. There were too many with Yamamoto in there. Too many easy innings. Got the early lead, and you just kind of felt like we're so rigid on, okay, well, this guy's doing this, and he's only going to do this, and then this guy's coming in and doing this. Like, it just felt like a spring training game that was a major league game. And I guess that this tells us, too, that Ben Brown's probably going to be the fifth starter, because this was a piggyback outing for him, which means that he was coming in after Shōta, and he was going to pitch. Struggled with his breaking ball. Cubs defense, John Birdie makes the throwing error. Matt Shaw had an error in the game. I think Shaw will get used to the speed over at third base, maybe some nerves. But at the end of the day, it's exactly what we thought it was going to be. Another game where this lineup just doesn't do anything, and how many of these games did we have last year? And then, well, this is the first game and, nothing to panic about. I'm not panicking. I'm just going to bring this up from Cubs.com, the box score here. I just want to look at it with you guys. The problem is, to me, I'm just going to start with the offense first, is they just don't put enough pressure on the other teams. I mean, Happ 1 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. Suzuki, I thought he had some good at-bats in the game, but was 0 for 4, right? Kyle Tucker hasn't done anything yet as a Cub. Are you concerned about Kyle Tucker yet? Because when you play at Houston and you go out to the grocery store, no one knows that you're a baseball player. They don't care that much. You come to the Cubs, and you're not going anywhere without people recognizing you. We care about baseball. Houston could change their name back to the Colt 45s, and it would take years for people there to realize it. Can you imagine the uproar if the Cubs tried to go back to being the Orphans or the Whales or something? Anyway, it's a different pressure playing with the Cubs. I know it's one game, but he hasn't looked good at all at the plate. And I thought, well, it's spring training. Turn it on, man. These games count. But 0 for 4 there. Bush was 0 for 3. Turner came in. He got out. Shaw, couple Ks. I mean, Yamamoto threw him some filthy stuff. Dansby Swanson had a hit, drove one to the wall. Cubs need Swanson to be a player. And that's just all there is to it. Amaya had an RBI hit. He had a good day at the plate. And then Birdie, But I mean, I thought I guess we'll start with the good. The good is that Shōta Imanaga pitched 4 scoreless innings in front of his home country. And I thought he did a good job. The Cubs were, he was only going to throw 4 innings. He was only going to throw 80 pitches. And it didn't matter what was going on. Yamamoto got there 5 innings, and he just got more pitch to contact outs. Ben Brown came in. Kevin said no command of the fastball. The breaking ball wasn't good at first. But when he came out for another inning, I was like, man, so they're starting him. Brown ended up pitching 2 2/3 innings. Gave up 4 hits and 3 runs, 2 earned with 3 walks and 5 strikeouts. He gave the game away. But I think that to me says that they think he's going to be the 5th starter. That's what it felt like to me. I mean, I could be wrong, but Chuck said he got up 30 minutes before the game. I woke up right at the start of the game. It was like the first day of school or something, like my schedule's different now. Let's watch. Can you imagine if every baseball game came on at 5 a.m.? Just sit there and drink coffee and watch baseball. The Cubs bats looked like they didn't get up today either. Change the lineup, bro. Do you really where's you look at this, the players that the Cubs have. And I've said this throughout spring, and I'm just waiting. The young guys have to deliver, because the lineup, you throw the Dodgers were missing Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman and still had a good lineup. Like, Nico's out. Does he change the lineup that much? I mean, he's better than Birdie. You got Shaw at third. I mean, maybe you put, I don't know. Is Workman going to play there? Is he even on the, going to be on the roster tomorrow for that? I don't know. But the stars have to be stars, or this team just, Seiya Suzuki and Kyle Tucker last year, Cody Bellinger, Dansby Swanson's proved that, he's going to have to make a big turnaround, or it's going to be another one of those years where, and he did have a hit today, but he doesn't scare you in the lineup. I think that kind of is where, where they are right now. Now, Jake says, "Let the pain begin." We've been Cubs fans for a long time. I think that, look, put it in perspective. It's one game, but this was exactly the same thing that we saw last year, and I think that's why a lot of us are alarmed at the way that this thing went down today. Another game where they're flat, and I thought that Birdie got on base, stole second. Well, he got hit by a pitch, and it was like this last year. Like, if you might get a walk or a hit by pitch, and that's how you get on base, but nobody follows up with the hit to drive that guy in. And you look at good teams, they do that. The Brewers do that. They just get a single on you. The Diamondbacks do that. They get a single on you. Dodgers will hit a 2-run homer, but the Cubs, same song and dance in today's game than we saw last year. Mark says, "I miss Cam Smith." And I don't know if Cam would have helped us today. But if this lineup had Cody Bellinger and Isaac Paredes, is it better than Kyle Tucker? And that's going to be something that we're going to evaluate all the way down the line. So, because when you make a trade like this, and I'm sure there's a lot of pressure on Tucker. Tucker's got a lot of pressure for a few reasons. That, and also, he's playing for a potential $500 or $600 million contract. So I'm guessing at some point he turns it on. But Mark, I don't think he stinks. All right, let's just kind of go over the box score then and talk about the game. Imanaga, 4 innings, no hits, walked 4, but had 2 strikeouts. You could tell that he was battling his command, but when he needed to get the big outs, he did. And for him and the rest of the team, I mean, the reason why Shohei Ohtani basically got a $700 million contract is that you just can't dismiss the lineup. And they have him leading off. Every time you turn around, he's like in the on-deck circle. And he had another big game, 2 for 5, 2 runs scored, and, fouls off pitches. They got guys like Max Muncy that go up there and just battle. Cubs need guys like that. They've got to do a better job of just having competitive at-bats, even if they don't get hits. And I thought that's where, you look at the lineup without Betts and without Freeman, and you figure that the Cubs, should be able to go up there and match up with that. And they didn't, even without those guys. But I thought that the obviously the bright spot today was Imanaga. He left with a 1-0 lead. They were going to limit him on how many pitches he threw. He didn't have control over that. The Cubs did. He got into a little bit of trouble in the 4th. But he never had a chance to stay in there. And what did he end up throwing here? 69 pitches, 43 strikes. So I thought that the game plan was for him to throw up to 80 pitches, but they didn't do that. And they want to go get in the bullpen so damn fast. And that's great. But the problem is that the bullpen gave up the game today, which was Ben Brown. And I thought that was kind of an interesting use of Ben, other than to think that they're piggybacking him and they're going to use him in that 5th starter spot. But you wonder what that means for Colin Ray. Chad says that they miss Nico or anybody but Birdie. Look, man, the thing about Birdie is that they could have kept Luis Vazquez, and they decided to keep John Birdie, which means that they think that John Birdie is a player, and it's one game. I don't even know why he's thinking he's going to turn a double play on a ball where the base runner's at your feet and the other guy's like a step from the base. Just, I don't know. You're a journeyman for a reason in this league. I mean, and that's kind of what that is. Going back to the pitching, Brown came in. We talked about him. Kind of, the breaking ball wasn't great. Fastball command wasn't great. He walked 3. They walked 8 as a total in the game. Morgan came in. It's going to be easy to spot him with that haircut. But pitched an inning in the 3rd, gave up a hit, had a strikeout, no runs. I haven't talked a lot about Eli Morgan, but he was the guy that the Cubs got from Cleveland. And last year was 3-0 with a 1.93 ERA. And he came in the game. I mean, like, just, rocking and rolling, man. I mean, looked good, looked confident, got the job done. Handed the ball over to Brashear, who was a former Dodger. And he, looked rusty. I think the best way to put it. An inning, 2 hits, a run with a walk and a strikeout. And there's your game. And for the Dodgers, you get the run off of Yamamoto, but then he got locked in. He retired the last 9 or 10 guys, 5 innings, 3 hits and a run. And then the Dodgers bullpen they didn't do anything. They didn't walk anybody, and they didn't have to. They just attacked the Cubs hitters with strikes. Banda an inning. They basically went 5 innings with the starter, 1-1-1-1 with their bullpen. And then Tanner Scott, just to kind of put the icing on the cake. Remember, Tanner Scott was the guy the Cubs wanted to sign. got the better deal with the Dodgers. He wanted to play with the Cubs, didn't get the money, comes in and picks up the save, and that was the game. Cubs really not. I didn't even feel like they put up much of a fight, and it's 2 hours and 38 minutes in front of 42,365 at the Tokyo Dome, and by the way, first pitch at my house was 5:10 a.m. First pitch in Tokyo was 7:10 p.m. How about that? So in case you were wondering, that was what was going on out there. But the Cubs did get the lead on Amaya had an RBI double in the second inning, and then the Dodgers scored 3 in the fifth. And then they got another one in the ninth inning to put it away. So 0-1 on the year. What did you guys think? And tell me in the comments section. Shōta should have stayed in for 5. I tend to agree with that. These guys are so ramped up on these analytics, though. They're not going to do that. They don't look at the game the way that teams used to look at the game. Like, hey, I want to win this one, and then I'll worry about tomorrow. Now it's like, well, I got a computer here that's telling me how many innings this guy needs to pitch, and if he gets to this, then this happens. Like they run so much of this stuff by the book that it's almost like trying to put humans in a category of robots. But you don't want the guy getting hurt. But then again, it's like, you don't want to get run over by a car walking out of the house every day. I mean, do analytics really tell you the probability of someone getting hurt, or do they tell you that someone's going to get hurt? I mean, these are all things that you just don't know. But that's why they put them out there. I saw a good comment up here. I'm going to throw up on the screen if I can find it. Just talking about like this year compared to last year. And, it is just one game. James says I'm sleeping in for tomorrow's game. We might win tomorrow. You don't want to miss that. Anyway, the comment was, it feels like another 83 and 79 season. Oh, man. Pete Crow-Armstrong had bad at-bats in this game. Part of it's good pitching, but what do you guys think the Cubs can do to turn things around? Is it a hitting coach? Is it approach? Is it lack of talent? Do you think that this team has enough talent? Or or are we looking at like, are the Cubs just what they are? Are the Cubs just genuinely a 83 and 79 team? And then you do like what the Cardinals are doing, blow it up and start over again, or at least try to, right? To get some value back the other way. Judy says, I woke up at 2:55 a.m. for this game. Yeah. It's like, I think that we feel like if the Cubs would just, like, if they were fun to watch lose, you wouldn't care as much. But they are the most pedestrian losers. Like, it's just, all the losses feel almost exactly the same. Like this game, you get one run, that you're not getting two, and then you pray to God that they hold on and don't blow it. And then as soon as the Dodgers scored 2, it's like, yeah, did anybody else feel that way? Dodgers got that second run. I'm like, all right, well, that's the game. We might as well just cut this shit off and move on. I mean, it's the way it is. Mark says, we don't have a superstar. When the Cubs won the World Series, I got my World Series shirt on here. They had superstars all over the field. Young, hungry superstars. I don't look at this and say that right now. Now, Judy, I hope they come back and win tomorrow, and that's kind of what you hope. But I also hope that if they lose, that there's more of a push. They play that song Charge at the game. And, it's like, Like you just want to feel like you're a pain getting out. Like you're going to go up there and make the pitcher miserable. There was a guy, the Max Muncy at bat for the Dodgers. I don't even think he got a hit, but it was like curveball. Yeah, Ben Brown struck him out. So it was like curveball, curveball, curveball. What are you going to throw again? And it was like curveball, strike out, and it was like, man, this guy just saw like 9 pitches. He was a pain. It was a prolonged inning. We need those kind of at-bats. Kevin says that they need to stop spending like a mid-market team. I feel like, and I've said this to you guys before, that part of this is because the Cubs have made these deals for Jason Hayward and then Dansby Swanson, who could be Hayward Part 2, where you're paying millions and millions and millions of dollars, and these guys aren't good. They're average. And I don't mean that they're bad. They're just not good. And when you spend that money, right, I see Naren in here. Naren, you're exactly right, man. I'm going to throw you up on here in a second. But when you spend that money, you just want to get the value for the money. And I feel like this is a make or break season for this front office. I feel like that Dansby Swanson signing is probably hanging over Tom Ricketts' office like every day. He's up there watching the game and he's like, what are we getting for this guy? Like how many? We don't want warning track power. Hit it out of the park. Although every ball that was hit in the air, the Japanese fans were like, like back. And then the guy's like not even near the warning track. Hey, Naren, good to see you, brother. Naren and I team up. He's definitely the king of the mailbag. I mean, he's awesome baseball guy and knows a lot about it. And it's fun to read his comments. But we did a show the other day. If you guys didn't watch it, make sure you go back and watch it. We were just kind of previewing the season. And we talked about this exact offense. And that this is what it feels like. Like, I figured that, like, Pete Crow-Armstrong would be a guy that could come in there and kind of ignite things a little bit. Maybe lay down a bunt, like force an error with the speed and all that. But you got to put the ball in play to do that. You got to put the ball in play. Him striking out isn't going to get there. Take some pitches, become good at a two strike approach. Be a pain. But this was a typical, and right, you're right, Naren. This is a typical Cubs game from last year. Swinging through here. Yeah, Dansby and Hayward. Look, I hope and I'll tell you this too, about this contract. I hope Dansby Swanson proves me wrong. I mean, and I'm not saying that I want him to fail. I want him to succeed. I'm just saying, like, right now he's not. And this team won't contend for a World Series if Dansby Swanson plays like he did last year, or at least hits like he did last year. Did I end up making the coffee mug? Jake, I'm working on those. If you guys want coffee mugs, we'll get coffee mugs. And we're literally drinking coffee together right now. Think about that. All right, old school fan, look, old school fitness. Look, man, you quit critiquing this team on one game. The problem, old school, is that this is the same crap that we saw last year. I know it's one game this year, but it's the same team with a couple differences and the same result. That's why we're critiquing the team. It's not that we want to sit here game one and go, well, we know what's going to happen between now and game 162. But what we're saying is that we've seen this song and dance. That's all we're saying. And I hope you're optimistic, and then we're in a week from now going, hey man, these guys have just gotten on a run. They start to click. We saw, I'll say this, old school fitness, is we did see the Cubs 2 years ago, not last year, but the year before that, have like, what was it, like 2 months where it just came together. Now, that was with Cody Bellinger. He's a Yankee now. We sold him. We got Cody Poteet back. we gave them Bellinger and $5 million, and we got Cody Poteet. It's a hell of a trade. Anyway, what I'm hoping is that this team's able to channel that. And I hope that's what I hope. But it's, look, man, it's nobody on here is saying that the season's over. So that's what we're talking about here. But we critique this is why we like baseball, because we got to critique it every day. We're going to critique them every day. All right, mugs are in the process of being ordered, by the way. So at the suggestion of Naren, I see you want one, Jake. I'm going to hook you up. And Mark was saying that we're looking at the same team from last year. What the other part of this, though, you got to remember is what we see on the field today is going to be a little different than what we see on the field when the Cubs start the real regular season against the Diamondbacks. And what I mean by that is that these are exhibition games that count. It's not a normal situation to fly to Japan and play 2 games in the middle of spring training. I think it's cool. And I love it, but it's a different situation, and some of the guys, like, we'll have Nico playing second base. Birdie will probably be, maybe over at third or something, or Shaw, I don't know, but they'll have a different look. And the crazy thing is that the Dodgers are missing, like, Freddie Freeman out of the lineup, like right before the game. Mookie Betts out of the lineup a couple days ago. I mean, you're missing two former MVPs. But the Dodgers were still able to, take care of business. Judy says, Cubs are the worst in the division. I don't know about that. Here, look, the good thing about being in the Central is that everybody's flawed. Okay. I don't know how the Brewers keep doing it every year. Like, you look at that team and you're like, man, how are these guys doing it? Oh, because they play fundamental baseball. Did you hear on the broadcast when I guess it was John Smoltz, and he was talking about how Japanese fans love a sacrifice bunt, like they cheer for a sacrifice bunt. And then they're like, we don't sacrifice bunt in America. We swing away, and it's like, that is why baseball sucks right now. Is it the sacrifice bunt? No, but it's that what makes Japanese baseball so fun is that it's a team game. Like, I love a home run like everybody else, but you don't have to hit home runs to win. You just have to get one more run than the other team. And how many of these games do you watch and the teams that are fundamental win? Like the Brewers, they don't even have any good players, really. I mean, but you know what? They're gonna make you throw strikes. They're gonna give you a competitive at bat. They're gonna walk. They're gonna steal second. With 2 outs, a guy's gonna single them in. They might steal second. I mean, who knows? The Cubs, I'm hoping, will get to that. And look, you love the home run, and I don't think it still does matter. I mean, extra base hits win games too, but the fundamental nature of Japanese baseball, I think, is one of the reasons why those players are coming over, and you see them on these 2 teams and making an impact. Seiya Suzuki and Shōta Imanaga are 2 of the Cubs' best players. Shohei Ohtani is the best player in the world right now. And he proved it again today. I mean, would have been nice for the Cubs to throw that $700 million out at him. Boy, that was worth it, right? Scrolling through right now. Naren says, I like our guys, but are they or will they be good enough? And that was one of the topics that we got into on the show. And guys, like and subscribe, please, as you hang out. If you're not a subscriber, give us a thumbs up. And I love the comments in the comment section. But will they be good enough? I don't know. Kyle Tucker hasn't done anything yet. So maybe when he turns it on, he could be one of these guys that just gets off to a kind of a late start. Or what if he's one of these guys that has been playing in a lineup with all of those stars over there, Bregman and Altuve, and you go down that Astros lineup. There's a lot of star players. He's not in that kind of lineup anymore. I mean, he's got a little help, but not a lot. We'll see if that kind of plays in. And just to follow it up, he's like, Hap, Tucker, and Seiya have to lead. I've never felt like, I just don't feel like Hap's a game changer. I think he's above average defensively, but not perfect. And he gets on base, but he disappears a lot to me. He's so streaky though. Like when he gets hot, he will lead you for a while. But I don't look at him and think, if he's one of your star players, I don't know. All right, Ken, I love this one right here. Never going to understand pulling your ace after 4 innings of no-hit baseball. Let him pitch. His arm is not going to fall off. Dude, I feel exactly the same way. It's not like baseball started with analytics, Like, this is the thing that bothers me the most about this analytic crowd, is that we act like baseball just started like 2017 when they started to really rely on analytics. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, well, we're going to pull so-and-so. We're going to pull him out because he's pitched. He threw 69 pitches. Last year I saw Ben Brown. He's pitching a no-hitter, and they pull him out after 7. He needed 6 more outs. They're like, well, we don't want to get him hurt. He got hurt anyway. So, Naren says he's not stretched out. I mean, and maybe that's it, like he would have had around 10 more pitches. But you know what? Yamamoto got through innings like that. It's when you look at it right now, it's like, well, you lost the game when Brown gave up those 3 runs. I all kind of thought, if I'm like managing, I'm going with, the Eli Morgan in the 5th. Like I'm going with my best bullpen guys instead of like piggybacking a starter to pitch. And Brown, I just wouldn't have done it like that. You would have needed 2 more relievers, but everybody's going to be, can these guys pitch on, you can't even worry about the next day, win this game. Right. But on top of that, everybody should be fresh because you haven't played any real games. And then you got 1 more tomorrow and then you're off for another week or so. So yeah, like this, go with a vet after Shōta. Yeah. Well, all said and done, 4-1 final. Dodgers out hit the Cubs 7-3. Cubs made 2 errors. Yamamoto was the winner in Japan. Brown the loss. Tanner Scott the save. And that is the first regular season game of the season. So, but great crowd, great exhibition. I give MLB a ton of credit on it. I think it was awesome. Like the whole spec, the whole event has been awesome. So now you get ready for tomorrow's game, and this is going to be interesting. And you wonder if the Cubs will have an advantage tomorrow. But Justin Steele's going to pitch against Sasaki. Sasaki was the guy that you remember we were following during the posting period. You could have got him for under $7 million because he wasn't allowed to make more than that, or he would have been one of these like $200 million players. And he got to pick where he went, and he picked the Dodgers. So his major league debut is in Japan tomorrow, and you wonder if the Cubs are going to, to be able to take advantage, how that's going to kind of look. And I'm sure Dave Roberts will probably have a quick hook for him, but if he struggles. But I mean, the guy, the 20-year-old that was pitching in that exhibition game against the Cubs a few days ago, like no hit him through 5 with the curveball, so I mean, it's not like you're going through murder's row here. So that's kind of what we're looking at tomorrow. It's another 5:10 Central Time AM start, and then it'll be on Fox Sports or Marquee if you want to watch it. I watched it on Fox Sports, and it's pretty fun. And then we got to wait another week or so before we get back into until to live action. But be good to see Justin Steele. He's been, I think, the Cubs' best pitcher over the last couple of years. I know Imanaga was better last year, but he wasn't there the year before. Steele didn't look good his last outing, but neither did Imanaga. I think that what they do is they get to spring training and the ball doesn't move the same way. You're not playing with the defense behind you normally is just like hodgepodge of guys getting work. And then on top of that, you're just kind of working on different stuff. When the real game hits, I'm thinking that we're going to see the best of Justin Steele. So it's comment of the day right there. Balls of Steele stays healthy. Cubs have to have Steele to contend this year. And I think that the chances are Shōta's going to take a step back. I don't know how far back. He was 15-3 last year, and the Cubs won so many of his starts. If you could just get him close to what he did last year and get Steele to get back to where he was 2 years ago, and then you hope that you get the consistency throughout the rest of the rotation. But you'd have I think you'd have a shot. Now, Naren, you bring this up. This is why these games are all so important right now, is that you can't make the playoffs in April, but you can get knocked out. And the Cubs have the toughest part of their entire season right here at the beginning of the season. Dodgers, Diamondbacks, Padres, Rangers, Dodgers, Padres, Diamondbacks, Dodgers. So that's a lot of Dodgers. They're going to be, like their backup lineup's as good as anybody. They've got the best pitching rotation in the league. Remember, they went out and got Blake Snell. Nobody even talks about that. Tyler Glasnow. They've got 4 guys behind their starters that would probably be considered a number 3 starter on the Cubs team right now. Maybe 2, depending on which guy you're looking at. They got Clayton Kershaw just getting healthy. Like, hey, you just go down there and just work that arm. When you're ready, this be lefty. You're ready. We'll bring you back in when we need somebody. Take your time. They are stacked. But yeah, it's a tough schedule, Naren. Thank you, man. Judy says, hey, get the hard games out of the way. Yeah, amen. I think that's part of it. All right, the last question I have for you guys today is the swag question. Look, there's the logo right there. Naren says he wants coffee mugs. They are being ordered. I was actually looking at those yesterday. I want to be able to reward you guys in the comment section for being here. What would you like if we did a hat, or we did a t-shirt, or we did a polo, or we did whatever, koozie, coffee mug? What would you guys want our logo on, or none? Somebody said a tattoo. I'll be, look, if you get the Cubs baseball channel tattooed on your body, that's next level. I'm not doing temporary tattoos though. It's all or nothing here. Jake, you say a hat. Yeah. So I did hats with my other channel, but yeah, these are like this style right here, the rhino hat. Maybe we'll do something like that. Come on, J-Rod. I know you're being sarcastic. We just started. We got 161 games left and the playoffs to complain about the Cubs. Cry about the Cubs. I just, if it didn't look so much like the crap that I saw last year, I wouldn't be as concerned. Okay, Jonathan, you might have just hit the jackpot here, brother. The straw hat that I was wearing at Rickwood last year. How about something similar to that? The Rickwood hat was one of those old school, like let me see. I'm going to pull this up if I can find it. One of those old school, like skimmers. I think that's what they call those, right? I can't do it on here. I don't think I have Instagram on here. Anyway, I'll just pull my phone up and show you. Because that is pretty funny. Where is it? Well, what I'm thinking is we could do like one of those straw hats. Maybe not quite like the one from Rickwood, which I loved it. I thought Rickwood was one of the best events that baseball's ever done. I absolutely loved it. Scroll through here, but you guys tell me, keep coming in the comment section there. There it is right there. You see that? That's not the hat we're doing though. But what I'm thinking is maybe like one of those, like, I got a straw hat that I walk with every day. It's got a Cubs logo on it. We could probably do something like that. Be pretty cool. What's up, Bernie? Good to see you. Go Cubs. DJ, give me it's game one. We're in the worst division in baseball, we think. So we can win to get into the playoffs. I mean, I don't know. Jake said that the Tokyo Dome looks pretty sick. I love the Japanese fans, man. I love the enthusiasm that they show, the cheers, the whistles and all that stuff. I didn't hear that today, but when we were playing those exhibition games, I mean, it was like, it's like nonstop. Like there's like a cheerleader out there and he's got the whistle, like, and then they have like songs for everybody. So yeah, I thought that was pretty cool too. But anyway, look, guys, thank you for being here. We'll do it again. We'll do it again tomorrow. I don't know when though, because I'm gonna have to watch part of this on my plane to Vegas. But we'll be back at some point and previewing things, talking about things. But you guys tell me, get in the comment section. What's it going to take? And I guess this is the homework that we all have. What do the Cubs need to do to turn this team into a winner? What progress do they need to make from last year? I think that they've got to do better. They've got to have more competitive at bats. I think that maybe they ride a little too much on analytics with the pitching, ride the hot hand. Go out there and try to win games, instead of always being so conservative with your arms that you miss the opportunity. DJ says Tucker's got to hit. Yeah, he's got to be the star. You traded away Bellinger for Cody Poteet, and you gave him $5 million. And, we don't even talk about that trade a whole lot, but how ridiculous when you look at it from our vantage point. And then you gave away Isaac Paredes and Cam Smith to get Kyle Tucker. So really, the Kyle Tucker deal, really, if you want to look at it, is Kyle Tucker and Cody Poteet. For Cody Bellinger, you give up $5 million, and you give up your first-round pick in Smith and Isaac Paredes, all-star third baseman. So you're putting your future on Kyle Tucker to be the star player that he's been in the past. He's got to hit. You're exactly right, man. He has got to hit. All right. Like, subscribe, thumbs up. Thanks, guys. And again, happy opening day. Maybe it wasn't quite as happy as we wanted it, but we did have baseball today, so that's a good thing. Go Cubs.